Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to this week's Pageant Land. We are mixing it up a bit this week because we are on Thursday and we are not doing it on a Tuesday this week. So the lovely special guest we've got tonight is the third runner-up, Miss Asia Global 2024. How are you?
Hi everyone, how are you? I'm great and I'm so excited and looking forward to this.
Yeah, it's amazing to have you on. I did see you in person the other week, didn't I? Which was wonderful. And I've been very, very much looking forward to this interview. So
Yes.
congratulations on your title so far. So that happened in November of last year. Tell me a little bit about your title, the final, and how did it all go?
So it was actually amazing. I got to be in India in November and it was the most amazing experience, a lifetime adventure for sure. And I was looking forward to represent Portugal in an international stage for 5 years by that time. So it was actually like the epitome of all my dreams and journey. So India was an amazing country. The culture is amazing, the diversity, the respect they have. I was there for a week. I was in south of India in Kochi, Kerala, and it was just the most amazing adventure. And I still can't believe it happened. I used to say that I would only believe it when I went there. I went there, I got back, and I still don't believe I got there. So it was actually an amazing journey. I met sisters from all around the world. I still talk to them to this very day. And to actually get a title and put Portugal on the map, because it was the first time that Portugal was ever represented at that pageant. So it was actually amazing to be the first ever and to actually place Portugal in the top four and, of course, be in contract with the organization.
Oh, massive congratulations from all of us here
Thank
at Pageant
you.
Lab. And what an amazing achievement and representing your country as well. What a great thing. What was so how many days what did the pageant go on for out there?
So it was basically a week. We had many activities. We used to have also a coach. So we had lots of practice, runway practice. We had penning down because they created this innovative thing that we don't have questions and answers on stage on the top six. We actually have to write them down in 1 minute. So it was actually insane and very stressful for a bit because I was preparing for the questions and answers and I tried to improve my communication to that very moment. And when they told me that I had to write them down, was actually okay, we need to actually practice this. And my thing is I have a lot of content. I love to talk a lot. So when I had to write them down and we practiced that all week, it was stressful because I could never finish my sentence. I was always middle sentence. So it was a little bit stressful, but I got it on the very last day before finals. So you can see that it was actually a training. We also had talent competition. I did singing. And we also had our interview. We had a a mixing ceremony. That's a very typical thing from India. It's when Christmas holidays and festive season begins, and they mix like fruits, oils, something like that, just to mix everything together, and then they make cakes with that and they deliver to the people in need. So it's a very beautiful tradition. It was amazing to have that experience, and they were amazing simply, and I cannot thank him enough. And also we had a boat ride. It was amazing to get to know a little bit of Kochi and its culture because it's very, very rich.
Oh, that sounds incredible. And what a lovely thing to experience over that time of year as well. That very charitable
Yes.
thing there. That's brilliant. So have you been doing pageants long? What got you into pageants and when did you start?
Oh, it's actually funny because I never saw myself doing pageants. It's never a thing that I didn't even know pageants. It was like a thing. Yeah, I know Miss Universe, I know Miss World, and that's it. It wasn't a thing that I knew or searched about. I was actually trying to get into the fashion industry because I wanted to be a model since my 10 years old, and only at 14 I could convince my mom that I really wanted to go. And when I signed up for a modeling agency, actually the first thing that I had was the casting for Miss Galaxy Portugal, its very first edition. So I was a Galaxy girl for 3 years straight. and I competed in junior and in teen. I placed second runner up, first runner up, second runner up. I also, in my 3 years of journey, I won the Publicity Side Award, the Charity, Congeniality, and also Best in Interview. So Galaxy has always been a thing that I'm passionate about, and that's why precisely I went back in March to watch the finals, and I've been there in 2023, 2021 because I was really, really passionate and in love with the Galaxy system. So I'm very, very grateful for all the opportunities because I also got to meet my co-director Joana Martins that sent me to Miss Asia Global. So it was an amazing experience, and I also competed for Miss Lisbon, that it's a semi-final for Miss Earth Portugal, and I also placed first runner-up. So I was always that close, and sometimes it can be a little frustrating, and I think you can know what I'm saying. But it was literally the cherry on very top because I was trying to actually do a break. I was like, yeah, maybe I'm trying too much. It's been years in a row. I'll just focus on my personal life, and then I get back. And then it was precisely in that moment that Joanna actually invited me to represent Portugal. And it was the most amazing experience. And to actually, it's been 5 years. And then in a little bit more than 1 year, I get two titles. So it's actually insane. So that's basically my pageant journey.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Determination, and you are an absolute legend, definitely. It's got to be done. And yeah, I've seen a lot of your journey over the last few years, and it's been wonderful to see. So you do a
Thank
lot
you.
of charity work as well. Do you want to tell me a little bit about that?
So I've been passionate about causes since my 14 years old, and I'm currently an ambassador for Pata de Açúcar. It's basically sugar paw, if you translate it quietly, and it's basically an association that trains abandoned dogs so they can become rescue dogs for families and people with diabetes. So it's a very beautiful cause, and I'm very honored to be their ambassador and to promote the cause. I've also been fundraising for 3 years straight for the Ronald McDonald House Charities, the association chosen for Galaxy Portugal. And I got to be their winner, their charity award winner in 2023. And it's been the most amazing experience to work with them. I've been with them even with my national title as Miss Asia Global Portugal. I've been there to visit, to deliver some books as well because I love the kids. And I've been to the Lisbon House 4 times already in the past years, and it's been the most amazing experience because the environment and the kids, they are lovely, they are amazing. It's such a beautiful cause. And I also very passionate about mental health, as I also was a suicide survivor. So I like to talk about that and like to talk about the importance of self knowledge and the importance of emotional intelligence because they are such powerful tools, and there's not much awareness about the importance of them, and they are so fundamental and essential to your self growth journey. And I also am very passionate about the environment because I was also a finalist, as I mentioned, for Miss Lisbon, a semi-final for Miss Earth Portugal. And it was in my education. My mom and my grandma always taught me about the importance of recycling, not throwing trash in the ground. And it's been a thing that I love nature. I'm a Virgo sign, so I'm all about plants. I'm all about the sea. I love to recharge my energies just looking at the sea. So it's been a very important thing for me, and that's one of the reasons that I also attempt Miss Earth Portugal. So there's a little bit of my charity work. I'm all around. I can work in everything you want me to.
I just love your energy and how you're
Thank
passionate
you.
about so many things. I think it's wonderful. And I also love the sea. It's wonderful. It's such a calming presence, isn't it? And I always like to
Yes.
walk by the sea and everything. You can really clear your head. It's wonderful for your mental health and things like that. And even just being around nature is so good for you, isn't it? But I
Yes.
just love your passions for all these things and what fabulous charities to support. I mean, we talked skated a little around. You're also a mental health advocate. So I've got your Instagram scrolling along the bottom. So anyone watching tonight can check that out so they can see what you're up to. So what bits and pieces have you done with being a mental health advocate?
So recently I went to give a speech in an event that it was to inspire the youth because after basic school you feel kind of lost, like you don't know where to feel or where to go at 17, 18 years old? How can you choose something to do for the rest of your life? Sometimes that can be a little bit stressful. And I took arts in my high school, actually. I'm a multimedia and communication um, and designer, and basically I was kind of lost after I did that, because we see in Portugal specifically doesn't value the arts very much. So I was like, yeah, I'm just going to take a gap year and just work a little bit, explore, also focus on pageantry. That's what I was doing. And basically with that, I found my way eventually, because I had pageantry, I had my fashion jobs as well, fashion shows to do. I also did a gig here and there. I'm also working now, so I found my way, but in sometimes it was stressful. And to be invited, I was the youngest speaker in that group. We were like 10 speakers, and there were always between the ages of 23, 50. So there was like a big range, and I was the youngest of them all. And they told me that the reason why they picked me is because not only I can be fundamental for the youth and the younger generations, because I have lots of things happening, as you see, but also because I have this resilience and this determination to go after things. And they also thought that it was very, very important to talk about that with the younger generations. And actually, mental health was actually something that I mentioned in that speech, because I talked about how I suffer with the anxiety. I've been through depression. I was a suicide survivor, and less than 4 days I attempted suicide, and I lost my grandma. So it was all very hard to digest and to deal with, and to actually grab those things. And I knew I shouldn't, but I had a psychologist to deal with this stuff. So it was a process that I had to go through alone. So I don't recommend this, of course. If you possibly can have a therapist or a psychologist, do, because does a lot of difference. But to actually have the resilience, and I'm talking about that because I think it's bravery of myself, very brave of myself, to do that and to keep pushing forward. It was a reason for me to actually enhance my mental health. And that's why I talk so much also about self-love, self-knowledge, and also emotional intelligence, because when you have those things, you can recognize your triggers, you can recognize our mind works. And one thing that really opened my eyes for mental health and how I cannot become a victim of my own mindset and mentality sometimes, it's that the brain is a muscle, and you can train it however you want. And when you have that switch, and it's a hard thing, and sometimes I still struggle with it, but when you have that mindset that you can just like, yeah, it's just my brain trying to literally put traps in here, you won't allow yourself to get into that. And that's why I'll speak so much about self-knowledge and self-love. I tend to say that when you know yourself, you get to accept yourself, and you get to know yourself, because you know your flaws, you know your triggers, you know your qualities, and you can work even better and better to actually refine some things and to actually invest in what you love. And that's why I also speak a lot about hobbies, because when you have passions, when you have hobbies, they give you focus, they give you goals, and they give you dreams, and dreams always lead life. So that's actually why I talk a lot about mental health and self-love, self-knowledge, and emotional intelligence.
You are an absolute inspiration, and I just love
Thank
your
you.
passion for everything. And it's such a good way. You know, you've turned a very, very sorry for your losses, by the way, but you've
Thank
turned
you.
those negative things into a positive, and you are become such a strong person and very resilient. And that's always a
Thank you.
lovely quality to have. So I tell you what, it's been a wonderful, wonderful interview. I could literally talk to you all night, but I
Me too.
thank you so much for coming on today, and
Thank you
you've
so
been an
much.
absolute superstar. So thank
Thank
you ever so
you.
much again. Bye bye.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.